What's up, guys? Make sure I'm not zoomed in or out or anything. Okay. So, it's another morning, another week. And it's so dark and spooky. Once again, welcome to my weekly little drive home from work vlog, podcast. I think it's too short to be a podcast. But whatever it is, it's something, right? I mean, can't be nothing. So I guess to start out, I didn't really have a topic planned for this talk. Lately I've been trying to have a little bit of a plan, but I guess I'm just going to talk about self-control a little bit. So this year I made myself a pledge to not buy any games. Technically it hasn't been the full year. I made this pledge a little while ago, maybe a month or two ago. So not quite a whole year, but for the rest of the year I'm trying not to buy any games. And I didn't realize that 2016 was going to be the year of every single game that I ever really wanted. It sucks, but it's also a self-control thing for me. It's more of a test than anything. I have my goals, I have my financial things that are going on, and with that, I'm not buying any games. I have a huge Steam list of backlogged games, and I just need to play them. So that's what I've been doing. As most of you guys know that are probably watching this, probably watch my stream as well. And I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls lately, and some Destiny too. Even been playing Destiny off stream, which is nice. I don't generally play games off stream, but I've had some quiet time to myself a couple nights out of the week, so I've been playing some Dark Souls or some Destiny. And it's really a crazy thing, right? Like that consumer drive that we kind of have in us. At least me. I guess I can only speak for myself, but that consumer drive to, like, you see a game and it's just something you want, and you have the money in your account, you just want it and you get it, and it's quick, and it really literally is as quick as pulling a trigger, right? You can take now recently you can return games on Steam if you haven't played them for longer than a couple hours or whatever, but up until then, and even really now, it's really a quick trigger pull decision. And in the case of the game that I want, Doom, it's really a quick trigger pull. Tugs on my nostalgia strings hard, and now everyone is talking about how awesome the campaign is and stuff. It's just like, it's crazy. But that's very much the culture we live in, right? Like, we have companies and corporations that, like, 50% of their expense is marketing. It's crazy, insane. It's wild. It's just incredible to wrap your head around. Like, these games, they market, and then they even get free advertisement with, like, YouTubers and things like that. By just not claiming their content, they get that free advertising. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty intense, and man, when the bug bites, it bites pretty hard sometimes. But I'm gonna hold fast. I'm gonna hold up. I got it on my Steam wish list, but other than that, it's not getting bought. Maybe next year, when my Steam list is way too crazy to tackle. As far as my wish list goes, I'll be intimidated by it and won't be able to even conquer it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to getting that game at some point. Just won't be able to beat it now. And at least it's that test, right? Like I jumped on the Division. The Division was the last game that I bought, and I jumped on it first day, right? It had record-breaking sales numbers, and now there's talks that it has like an 80% loss of retention of players. So like 80% of players stop playing the Division. Games are coming out where instead of putting that 50% of, this is just a ballpark number, 50% of marketing money, they have 50%. So say their budget is like $60 million or whatever. That's a pretty big game. But $60 million for a game, fucking $30 million of that went to marketing instead of maybe some QA. That game is crazy buggy, and with every patch they break it more half the time. So it's pretty wild, right? So it's hard to justify pulling the trigger on those kinds of purchases when, and the worst part probably about The Division and other games as well is the first impressions were pretty good. They weren't horrible. I mean, they weren't amazing. They weren't like Game of the Year type reviews or anything like that, but they were pretty decent, from reviewers. And then they patch a couple things because they break balance or whatever, and they break a bunch of other systems, and then end up taking dailies out of the game. So it's crazy. If you Google The Division and you don't really pay attention and you look at like some first impression reviews or things like that, they're generally pretty positive. So if you're making a purchasing decision based on something like that, you're gonna get boned, which is really crappy, right? So what can you do in that situation other than wait the year, right? It's like the Battlefield stigma. Just wait a year after release, and you'll either know if it's like a piece of crap or if it's really good. That's how all the Battlefields have ever been. Wait a year after release. If it's still going strong, you're good, man. And plus you have all the bugs ironed out and all the content patched and, all that kind of crap. And that's a shame that we are in that kind of society, but what can you do? You really can't make any other decisions based on that, right? Like right now I'm like, oh, Doom, I miss it. It's so awesome. The gameplay looks so Doom-like. I'm so excited. It's freaking sweet, but the part that people are like meh about is the multiplayer. Well, if the multiplayer sucks, what kind of longevity does that say for the game? They have a map maker, which is kind of cool. I guess that's pretty in depth, but what does it say about the game when the part that people are complaining about is the multiplayer? Now, granted, I have not played the multiplayer, haven't had the opportunity. People are saying loadouts meh because of COD influence and new age first person shooter influences, but at the same time, like, I don't mind loadouts. I don't mind those kinds of things. Like I love Doom, and I love the pickup systems of like Unreal and Doom and things like that. I love those kinds of things, but at the same time, I'm not like super diehard, so I wouldn't be against systems like that. I haven't played it in action, right? Like I don't know if there are any game-breaking combos or anything like that kind of screws you over, but I don't necessarily see that. I don't know what's wrong with the multiplayer and people's point of views other than loadouts. I just know people have problems with it. So it's like, that's another thing, right? The marketing buzz was all, around this game, and the beta was multiplayer only, which is pretty risky considering that was the weaker part of the game comparatively to, but they didn't show their ace up their sleeve with the campaign either in the beta, which is good, because that's making a bunch of people itchy. They're getting itchy trigger fingers, including myself. I really, really, really want that game. I'm staying steadfast, and I'm holding to my, my position on not buying games and this year. So we'll see. Over the time, we'll see how insane I get, playing games and scraping the bottom of the barrel of my Steam list. Hopefully I get to that point where I'm dying because I'm playing like some bottom of the barrel Humble Bundle game that came in the $2 pack or some crap that I got 3 years ago. We'll see. We'll see for sure. But ultimately, I'd like to beat the games before I move on to them. So that's my goal. Trying not to spend too much cash. Trying not to buy any games. And, maybe some free-to-play MMOs will come out and surprise me. I haven't been in the MMO scene much this year. I think Black Desert was the last one I really played. And, wasn't too happy with it. The grind made me feel dead inside. The fact that I only have 3 to 4 hours every day, like, and really only 4 days a week on a schedule to game, and you're gonna play a grinding game, that's not gonna happen. you're not gonna get anywhere with 4 hours unless you're like doing the AFK fishing shit and like all that crap. Even then, it doesn't level you or anything. It just makes you money. It's a whole crazy thing, you know. People are saying that oh, you can get to level 50 in Black Desert in no time, but that's not how I want to play. Like, I don't want to play to die and like no life the game and shit and go wild. That's not how I play. I also stream and interact with you guys and stuff like that, so you know. But that's a totally different, that's a total tangent that I took there right at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna be focusing on these vlogs, trying to get one up once a week. We'll see. I don't have a specific date for these things yet, but hopefully that'll change, and I'll figure something out. I know last week, today was the day that I uploaded, so I'm hoping that maybe that stays the case, but we'll see. I don't know. It'll be sometime, and it'll be whatever, blah, 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 driving, and I'm hoping again that I can get the car setup dialed in to where it's a little more well lit. I know it's difficult to light a car at night. That's the biggest problem. Maybe I'll start recording the podcast when I'm like going to pick up my girlfriend or something instead of when I'm driving home from work. Don't know. I don't know what I'll do to change it up, but I might have to change it up just so I have more lighting, and I might not be able to do this at night, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, I'm pulling up a home. I'm not tying up any of my thoughts. I'm leaving them up there. Let me know if there's any games that you guys are looking forward to or wanting to play but can't play this year. Leave them in the comments below. Let me know. Let's talk about all the games that we don't get to play this year. All right, guys, I will catch you later. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week, I guess. All right, bye.